I'm Matthew JC, founder of Operation Rock the Troops. We created a new program for veterans, if they choose to accept it. They will go on a 7-day tour to Ireland, meet national artists and talk about their struggles. And by the end of the mission, write and perform a song to bring their story to life. Anything can happen, but one thing is for sure. When words fail, music speaks. This is their story. This is their highway home.
Our charity's mission started after 9/11 as we signed on with the Pentagon and Armed Forces Entertainment to have my band, the JC All-Stars, tour for our U.S. troops all over the world. We've completed 7 world tours to over 40 military bases in 15 countries, as well as 2 tours across the U.S. with over 1,000 shows. What I've learned while on tour for nearly 20 years was that music is truly a non-drug related solution for our soldiers and veterans. There was and still is a veteran suicide epidemic that I knew pills were not the answer, and there were many other issues our veterans, both male and female, that they were facing and needed help. So I designed our Songwriting Healing Camp as our charity's main program to give veterans an opportunity for a new type of mission, but this time, to heal.
One of the most significant things about what Operation Rock the Troops is doing is exposing people to the healing power of music.
Some of these burdens, some of these shackles these guys been dragging around, man, they're putting it out in a song now. They're talking about some things maybe they hadn't talked about, you know? So power of music is that.
Your pain and your suffering is with everyone now so that people can understand and feel it, and it gives you a sense of release.
Writing it, this is my interpretation of my sorrow, of my strife, and it was such an eye-opening experience, and to do that with a national recording artist, it was one of the highlights of my life.
As a musician and as a writer and all these things, I really understand the healing power of music because it's the only way any of us make it day to day in this line of work.
In this camp, 5 veterans will head to Ireland with the Texas Tornado Tour and over 20 of the top Texas red dirt country rock stars and us, the JC All-Stars. They will have 7 days to complete their mission, as they will also experience the sights, castles, meet locals, go to concerts, but the pressure will mount to have their original song written and ready to be performed on the last day of the tour. The 7-day mission comes in 3 steps. 1, the veterans would meet with national recording artists in a group session and talk about their struggles when returning home. 2, they'll get paired up with an artist to bring their emotions and thoughts to life through the art of songwriting. And 3, they will then join the national artist on stage and perform their new original live. Now, anything can happen, but one thing is for sure: when words fail,
Music speaks.
the 5 veterans that were going to take this mission with us were some veterans that have been a part of a previous camp and some new veterans that would be joining us. Casey is a Marine veteran who took drum lessons through Operation Rock the Troops, as he's always wanted to learn how to play the drums, but didn't know where to start.
I got paired up with Paul Brown to play the drums, so I would go to his house and we would play for a couple of hours, like 2 or 3 nights a week. And at the end of first week, started playing playing a song all the way through from beginning to end on the drums. So that was extremely exciting. And then Operation Rock the Troops just afforded me that opportunity to, take what's going on inside here to put it to music, and that was a great experience.
Taylor is a photographer and an extreme music enthusiast. It's a blessing to have her on this mission.
I was really excited whenever Matthew JC called me to be able to come on this trip because another veteran had to cancel. I met Matthew last year on a Texas Red Dirt pub crawl trip, and that's when I found out that he was doing this basically all for veterans, and I'm really excited to be able to be a part of it and see it in this light.
AJ is an Army veteran, and Mike and James are both Marines. We're all on the first Songwriting Healing Camp in Alaska, but our work wasn't quite done with them, as it was an honor to have them come on this tour, as all of their backgrounds were different.
So I went on a previous songwriting camp to Alaska, and it was exactly what I had needed at the time. I was down in the slump. I had put the music, put the guitar and everything down, and it was what I really needed to reinvigorate me to get back into what I enjoyed doing.
Every camp starts with getting the veterans ready in one location before we head to the airport or where we're going, and to give them the mission details. We were in good hands, and the guys were all in good energy when they showed up to my house before we were going to fly out.
So getting to JC's house and getting briefed and then showing up at the airport, things really hit home that this was going to be something very real.
Now, I was lucky on this trip to have my best friend and guitar player David with me and my lead singer Ashley from the JC All-Stars.
So we're getting ready for this trip and we're at JC's house and we load into AJ's white van. Everyone was like in a good mood and there was all this positive energy and we were just ready to go overseas and perform.
I'm actually really excited about this trip. I'm super excited to be performing overseas. I met AJ, I met Mike. I heard all about their trip to Alaska, so I'm really glad to be here with them.
We headed to the airport with so many pieces of luggage, with everybody bringing their guitars, the different pedals, the instruments, the gear that they need, as well as all of the film equipment to capture this. It was overwhelming, but there was something peaceful knowing that the group of us that were going had a mission. And that mission was using songwriting as healing. So what would happen? I have no idea, but that's what we're about to find out.
So we get to the airport and we're corralling all the luggage and it was just fun seeing all the veterans and everybody just do this for the first time and just see how they would react to the situation.
You know, I was actually pretty nervous about this trip. I didn't know who I would really know here. It's not super my genre. And when I got to the airport and I saw everybody, I saw some familiar faces. I saw AJ and Mike and James. There's some veterans that we're taking here on this trip. And I saw them I got to perform with them at the Texas State Fair. So it was awesome seeing them here and knowing that I'm gonna get to do a singer-songwriter session with them.
It was great seeing the veterans smiling basically from ear to ear because everything we've talked about for a year was now happening. It was a great time to actually feel their energy because I feel like I needed it too, because as a performer, sometimes you thrive off of the energy you get back from the crowd. And in this case, the veterans were ready, so here we go.
When he asked me to be part of the Songwriting Healing Camp, I really didn't know what to expect because it's not something I've done before, was familiar with. And, you know, teaming up with guys from the Texas Red Dirt Pub Crawl, I really didn't know much about them, but to get a chance to go perform in Ireland and write songs in Ireland, what could be more inspirational than that?
For the last 5 years, we've hosted a tour in Ireland for artists and fans and veterans to come along and enjoy.
I met Teresa the previous year as we toured with 5 female veterans on her tour, and we filmed a music video for one of the veterans there.
Light up your path, can you see it? Light up your future, 'cause you need it. Light up to live.
The experience is beyond amazing working with them that we knew we had to go back again.
Of the 5 tours that we've done to Ireland, what makes this tour so special is the bringing together of veterans with music and musicians and helping their healing process.
I didn't know what to expect, but I knew that this process was going to be as much of a healing process for me as it was for whoever I was going to work with, and I was definitely grateful for the opportunity.
We go to all these crazy venues and have a great time over there, and these guys get to see these artists in a more intimate setting in Ireland, as well as travel around and have fun.
When we finally got on the plane to go to Dublin, I think that was my first real moment of like, wow, we're going to go do this really cool thing.
It was really fun to see just a sea of cowboy hats all over the plane, and just about everyone had a guitar. And sometimes I realize how comfortable it is for me to be around a bunch of Texans.
I know we just started this trip, we're on like day 1, but even on the plane ride over, I started chit-chatting with some of the guys and laughing, and I just knew that this was going to be an experience.
When we finally landed in Dublin and everybody got all their gear and we headed out to the buses and loaded up everybody's equipment and luggage and all that stuff. We kind of drove through from the airport into Dublin. What made it so beautiful is when we got to the Temple Bar Hotel was that even though some of us were jet lagged, there was this energy that was like, you know what, we got a free day, let's go explore.
I mean, just seeing Ireland was a very surreal experience. It actually took a day or two to actually realize, like, okay, I'm here, and looking at it.
It was pretty amazing. You can feel the history around here, and you can really see a lot of musicians and statues and just the vibe of the city and the stone streets and everything. It was pretty amazing.
So the first night at the Temple Bar Hotel there in Dublin where we stayed, I was able to meet Casey and James and also AJ, who I thought were just amazing men, and I was able to have a beer, actually have a Guinness beer in Ireland with these guys. It was really cool.
First getting to Ireland and getting a chance to meet the other veterans, it was a comforting feeling because those are my brothers. Those are guys who I can relate to, and to be able to play music together, best thing ever.
The one thing I love about Ireland, and even in Dublin, is that there's so many musicians. There's so many performers at this venue, that venue, so many different styles of music. No matter where you walk, even on the streets, there's someone there performing. We're home. This feels great, and I'm excited. A little jet lagged, but we'll power through.